The regular meeting of the City Council of Connersville is now in session. Please rise. We have the Pledge of Allegiance by Connie Durham.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone would please silence their phones. Don Miller will lead our invocation.
Just want to tell you, it's a privilege to come and pray for your meeting. Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we just come to you just now with a prayer of thanks that Rosemary is back on duty. Father, just be with her today and the rest of this day and then in the next weeks as she gains her strength, and help her, Father, to do the best job that she can. Father, just pray for this meeting. Would you bless it? Father, bless each one who's come to be a part of the city council. Father, they have given of their time, they give of their talents for the betterment of this city. Father, just bless their work, and we just pray, Father, for a spirit of unity and a spirit of cooperation. Father, we just also give a special prayer for those of our city who work for the city in many, many capacities. Father, just be with them day by day, and Father, just pray that you would allow them to feel the spirit of the prayer that we're praying just now for them, that they may feel a comfort and a strength, and realizing, Father, that many, many appreciate the work that they do. Father, we're thankful for the opportunity we have to live in this country. We many times, Father, take it for granted, and I just pray, Father, you'll help us to each day step up and do what we can to be a good citizen of the United States. Father, we're indeed thankful for your love and your mercy. Father, we just pray that you would bring us back when we fall short. We're so blessed, Father, with the forgiveness that we have through your Son, Jesus. And Father, we're so thankful that he came to this earth to give us an opportunity of eternal life. But Father, perhaps more important than that, just abundant life each and every day. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Okay, we'll have roll call.
Councilman Nobby. Councilwoman Montgomery.
Present.
Councilwoman Phillips.
Present.
Councilman Nettie.
Present.
Councilwoman Durham.
Present.
Councilman Frank.
Here.
Councilman Bishop.
Present.
Okay, you have received the minutes of the June 5th meeting. Is there any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed. Okay, we're going down to new business. Item A, the gentleman called today and canceled for tonight, so that's off your agenda. And Diana Wright, please.
I'm just here to ask permission to apply for the Operation Pullover. It's been very successful in the past. We're looking at possibly 8 officers this year doing that at, I believe it was 310 overtime hours. We'll be asking for $12,000 this year for Operation Pullover. And I just need the council's blessing to move forward with that.
Is that the same as normal? More?
It's a little more. Last year, we were able to apply, or this current year, we had asked for 10,000, but then we got pulled for 2 extra. You had to be eligible to apply for the extra 2, which is one coming up in July, and it is for a rule demonstration project. It's a seatbelt only. But there's also one, it's the acronym is SIDEP, and it's an aggressive driving throughout the summer.
Do you know what the duration is, Diana? That's
It starts October 1st and ends September 30th
Thank you.
on the current $12,000 that we're asking for.
Can we get all that back?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing the city allows us to use the cars and the gas. But
But this pays for salaries.
it pays for salaries. It does not pay for fringe benefits, but it does pay for overtime because it has to be all overtime hours. So it does pay overtime hours to the officers. So it gets, we've had some very good results of bringing in other things than just seat belts and.
Okay, is there anyone wanting to give Diana approval for that?
I'll make the motion.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Diana.
Thank you.
Hold on, wait a minute, you got one more.
Oh, okay.
And that was for how much, like,
12,000.
12,000, yes.
Okay, on C, on the occupied housing.
Oh, okay. Joyce McCarty's here from Star Development. We weren't sure if she was gonna get to come tonight or not. It's a busy time of year for her as well. So I'll let you ask her any questions.
This is just for information, right?
No, will
Okay.
be, we need to specify the match amount tonight.
Okay.
I've actually got some application documents that the city has to sign that goes with the actual application tonight. And like Diana said, what we're hoping, the city last couple of times did a close to $5,000 match on the OR grant. This time, we're going to ask for $350,000. The city, due to it being distressed, that helps with points on the application. So I'm hoping that you will allow, it's $7,150 toward the project. This will get 2 points. And of course, 2 points, you guys, I'm sure all are familiar with grants, that 2 points make a big difference. And of course, you will get, you know, if we're funded, which we're going to try as hard as we can to get it funded, that'll be $350,000. So it's a pretty good return on money. That the $7,150, you can work it into your 2018 budget because it won't be expended until 2018. And plus, if you are not funded, then there's no obligation for that money either. Okay. We have had several applications. We're still accepting more. We need a few more low income. And the way they've got the income levels for Fayette County, 30% and below or 40% and below is very low income. I think 40% and below for 2 people is around like $16,000 a year. I mean, that's kind of hard to believe someone can survive on that, but they're pushing to service the very, very low income people. So
Is there any target area or just all over town?
we've actually just been taking applications as they come in, and they are all over town.
Okay.
We have to do a flood map, and I think we had to use actually 4 separate maps to be able to cover it, so they are all over.
Okay.
Okay,
May I ask a question?
yes.
And I think I understand it, but how do they come up with the points? I mean, I know they go for the percentage here, but how do they calculate
Okay.
the points?
There's several different categories. One is if we say we're going to do 20% that's at or below 40% income level, you receive points for that. If you say you're going to do a certain amount, I think it's 20% disabled homes, we get points for that. And we will get points for both of those. Another one is if you do 15% of your homes is families with children under the age of 6. We don't hit that criteria yet. There's another one if it's elderly. If 15% is elderly households, we do hit that. You're really making me think here.
That's okay.
Because, I mean, there's several different things
I
that
thought
comes.
that's how they done it, but
Right.
it's just graduated basically on the percentage of the, is it income or
It's income, it's household makeup,
number of people in the household? too?
yeah, and
Okay.
then, of course,
That's, okay.
yeah.
That's
and
what I thought it was.
Yeah, there's several different criterias in
Thank
there
you.
that gives us points.
Now, is there a limit that you can spend on each house, or is it?
Yes, There's $25,000, and that, it depends on which funding we get. There's CDBG funding and there's CDBG-D funding, which is disaster recovery. If it's D funds, then we have to, the $25,000 also includes environmental review, program delivery, and lead testing. If it is regular CDBG, it only includes the rehab money.
Okay.
So what we normally do is we try to expend the money according to the need of that home. So that means, because we never really tell the participants how much they're going to get until after the bids come in, because they like to hold you to that. Plus, there's some homes that need more, and we have before gone to Indiana Housing and say, this home really needs more than $25,000, and this is why. And they will sometimes let you raise that subsidy limit.
So
We've
they-
done that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So if they save money on one, they might allow something else, a little more on another?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. They just want you to, if we say we're going to do so many homes, why, they hold us, we have to do those homes.
Will this be the first time we've asked for this amount, 350,000?
Yes,
I
we
thought-
normally go for 300,000, because that was the maximum.
That's right, yeah, I remember.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this wouldn't have to go into we have to build this into our 2018 budget, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, would not be extended until then.
okay.
Just for the sake of it, give me the basics criteria.
Okay,
Because
it has.
people, general public,
Right, it has to be owner occupied, you have to have income verification, you've got to be within a certain income level. You've got to have, your name has to be on the deed. It can be a life estate, they will do that, but they will not do land contracts. You've got to have insurance on your property, which can knock out a lot of people. And then you have to be current on your taxes, property taxes.
Okay.
and how would they get an application?
They can either contact me, Joyce, at Star Development, or they can contact Diana here at the city, and either one of us can give them that application.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we allow Joyce to move forward with this and apply for this 350,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Thank you very much for doing this.
Did, am I speaking right there? I also, because the application's due July 17th, so I definitely need a commitment on the $7,150. Was that part of your motion? Was that something you want to do tonight?
What do you think? Should we go ahead and make a, let's go ahead and do it where we'll commit the $7,150.
Out of the 2018 budget.
Out of the 2018 budget.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I'll make that motion that we do that.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Sorry.
For $7,150 in the 2018 budget. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
I have, this is actually part of the application. This is the displacement affidavit that I need the mayor to sign.
Is it all right if I get them all signed after the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
And both of you have to sign this one. And you can just give it to Diana.
Okay.
Okay.
And then this is the environmental review, which we just need your signature.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
I'll
Thank
have them
you.
at the
Thank you,
meeting.
Joy.
Any other questions or anything?
Thank you.
Thanks for the information.
Okay, now Diana. Statement of benefits compliance.
I think there's a resolution in your packets. All of the individuals for the tax abatement log. I just need approval.
And they're all in compliance,
There is one that is not.
but, okay,
Yes.
but that one's not on here.
Yeah, the very top
Oh,
one.
yes,
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Where are we at with that? Have you talked to them?
I have not. You know, there's two ways to look at it. The one way is, we agreed to the tax abatement for 10 years. If we take it away, it's not full yet, they'll have to raise the cost to make up the difference. They will never get it full.
I just didn't know if we had spoke with them to see in a meeting whether, I know that was one of Gabe's points a while back, was putting the committee together to speak with them to see where they're at.
Right.
I don't know if we had done that yet.
Well, what we can do to.
What we can do to help.
Right.
Just asking.
Yeah, because I think it sends the wrong message if we don't do anything. That, they could just sign up and they know we're not going to do anything.
And we do this every year, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
I'll make a motion that we pass resolution 2017-35, but I also want to make a point that we have a conversation with them. I don't know if we can do all that in the same motion or not, but
Well, you need to either approve it or not approve it.
Right.
But you can also then go ahead and state that you're going to talk to the one business that's not in compliance, because it looks like they're significantly
They're
not in
significantly not
compliance.
in
So
compliance.
I agree that you need to have a conversation
my
with them.
resolution is what she just said.
I'll second that.
That's what I do.
I don't
Which
make
is a lot
motions.
easier.
What she said, yeah.
Yeah, whatever she said, that's what we'll do. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Keeps us out of jail.
Yes, it does.
Who's on the abatement committee? Do you remember, Gabe?
It's me, Gabe, and Harold, I believe.
Okay. I think that was the one to make contact. I have a conflict of interest there. I don't really want to make that contact.
Okay.
Because I do have a conflict of interest there with that property.
Well, I got a person who'll be happy to do that, won't you bet?
Well, I think someone needs to follow up in the next 30 days, because I agree with what Councilman Frank said about there's significant non-compliance, and you need to make sure that you stay on top of that.
Okay,
Right.
all right. Okay, going down to item E, resolution 271336, and item F, 2017-37. It's a reimbursement of $40.60 on 36, and for a total of, where's the total at?
$218.73 on dash 37.
I move we pass resolution 2017-36 and 37.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to pass pending orders 2017-36 and 37. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Okay. Rosemary, would you like to speak to this one, please?
Yes, are you gonna open the public hearing?
Yes, we'll open up the public hearing for the additional appropriation. So we'll go ahead and open it up. We'll close this meeting and open up the public hearing. Okay, is anyone in the audience got anything to say?
This is an ordinance, pending ordinance 3347. It's asking for an additional appropriation to the police overtime for the amount requested, $25,000.
Okay, does anyone like to speak to that? If not,
I
I'll
would.
put,
It's on public.
Oh,
This is a public
never
hearing.
mind. Okay, fine.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close the
Sorry.
public hearing. Open up the council. Now, Diana.
Now I can, okay. I feel like we should, I'd rather see this for like 15,000. They've used right at 25,000 so far, and we have 2 officers replacing other officers that have caused part of the problem with overtime. Plus, they just, at the Board of Works, they okayed hiring another part-time officers to replace. And I think especially with our having lifted the financial emergency and whatever, we really have to be diligent on what we appropriate, and I would just rather see it at 15. If we have to come back for more, I know it's it's more work and whatever, but I just think we have to be really diligent on.
Carol, would you want to
stuff like
speak to this? We just lost-
Wait, can
oh,
I say something first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I've been in office for, 17 months now. I think we've been an officer short, 17 months since the last one finished his class Friday afternoon and started Sunday night. 17 months, one officer short. Yes, we hired a replacement that was able to start right away, last month, but that was still short. We were still short. We're still covering overtime. You have 15 officers out of 25 that have 7 weeks of vacation. That takes overtime to cover. I mean, right now, as of the pay, we are already negative $4,463.93. So this would only give us $20,000 to finish a year if we approved all $25,000.
Do we have a little bit of OPO money? I think we have 2,900 OPO money coming back. Is that correct?
We have, just for Blitz 90, we have 2,600, and that doesn't count what we have done already in SIDEP this
Well,
month.
we've already.
So close to $3,000 of what you're in the hole is for OPO activities that will get reimbursed after June 30th.
So it still
I
puts
can't
us about
claim
But
that
we've
part
already
over.
received the 29.33. As I said,
You have?
yeah,
Okay.
29.33.25 has already been added back
But you
in.
still got another one
Another
out there.
2,600.
Yes.
But, I'm at June 19th.
And another thing I'd like to talk about too is we have another officer off for about 12 weeks. He had surgery on his neck. So we're going to be short another officer there.
That's what I wanted to make you aware of,
But
is
go
that
ahead,
we're
go ahead.
short.
You speak to it.
Sorry.
That's all right.
We will be short, let's see, the surgery was on the 12th, and we'll be short 8 to 12 weeks, depending on what what his doctor says. It's out of my control. It does leave 16 days scheduled overtime on third shift in the month of July, which we'll try to cover that with part-time people. But mind you, the part-time money is also going quickly, because we've used quite a bit, so, I do my best. We have minimum manpower, and we have to.
So is there any more discussion on this? Or we want to leave it there, or you want to cut it? What's your wish?
I think that, and I have to trust the chief, that she's doing all she can,
She is.
and your office all that you can to keep overtime controlled. But I think a lot of the area where we need to work on this is during negotiations. So in the near future, when that occurs, that will be paramount, in my opinion.
You're right.
Please don't lower my manpower. We're already working with 3 on 2 shifts, and second shift has 4, but, they're busy, and that's barely safe as it is. So, we did take 3 guns off the street last month. 2 of them were loaded with a threat that he had every intention of using them had a girl not been there. So, we can't go any less.
Okay, so is there any more discussion on this?
I think it's probably wise just to leave it the way it is. I don't, not to say that we're going to use it, but, when it comes down to it, we could always transfer it back. It's not like, it's just handed out. We obviously don't want to spend it, but,
Do you want to make that motion?
free reign. I'll make a motion that we pass it as is,
And I'll
as
second it.
advertised.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to pass pending ordinance 3347 on first reading. Is there any more discussion? We'll take a roll call vote on this.
Councilman Nabi? Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Only because I think we need to just,
Councilman Nettie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Durham?
Yes.
Councilman Frank?
I've had a lot of people talk to me about this. It's no. And everyone is supportive, no.
Councilman Bishop?
My question is where do we stop the bleeding? No.
You got a 3-3.
I vote yes.
Am I allowed to ask who?
I've had a lot of constituents tell me to stop the bleeding. We don't have the money. It's not in the budget. We don't have it.
You know why police and fire are expensive?
That's not the point. The point is you
I'm
have so
asking a
much.
question. Do you
you
know
have
why
so
police and
much
fire are
money just-
expensive?
and
Because
do-
police and fire are expensive, that's
and do we
why.
borrow money to pay for that?
Okay, is there, hold
I
on.
know it's
Hold on a
expensive.
second. Is there a motion to suspend the rule and go to third and final reading?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. Do we need a second? Okay. Is there a motion to go on second reading? Okay. Goes on to the next meeting.
I would like to say one thing, I'm not doing this, I'm not singling out the police department.
I know.
If it was
I
somebody else
understand.
that was
I
coming,
completely understand,
And
but
I
I've-
understand your dilemma, I really do.
I do too.
And so I don't
Honestly,
want,
I
I'm
do.
not targeting the police department, if it was the fire department or somebody else that was coming for that, I'd say the same thing. It just so happened that you guys hit first. And I'm not saying we won't use it, but like I said, especially with the lifting of the financial emergency, we're gonna have to just really be diligent, and I
I
don't-
understand.
yeah. I hope so, because that's not, that wasn't my intention at all.
I don't have a checkbook. I don't write checks.
Let me
Rosemary
offer
won't let me
you-
have one.
Let me offer you some advice if I can. Councilman Nutty hit the nail right on the
I agree.
head.
I
You, and by you, I mean as a group, the city has approved a collective bargaining agreement that provides for a certain amount of vacation and certain things, and you have to live under that agreement until it's time to renegotiate it. And so, knowing that, just a second, knowing
Sure.
that, you have to live under that, and it's counterproductive to then say, well, we have this overtime because of your 7 weeks of paid vacation, when that was what, at arm's length, both sides agreed to. So we have to live under that, and you're gonna have to trust your police chief, who's a very experienced, ethical person, and is interested only in the public safety. And when we can productively deal with it, which would be at negotiating time, then we could deal with that.
And I also think you negotiated manpower schedules too, so, if you negotiated manpower, you can't do away with manpower, so it's gotta be paid, so.
We
but that's your
are
guys'
working
call.
at minimum manpower for the most part.
I would like to say, though, we are working under that 7 weeks vacation that was provided by previous administrations. Actually, in this contract, for new employees, it's not 7 weeks.
Right, I understand that.
Yeah, so
but we
we
still
are
have to
working
live
on
under
that
it.
too. We are working on that, but I understand, I agree with you, on,
But
on that.
the bleeding won't stop for several years. I mean, you have 16 police officers that are eligible
Right.
for 7 weeks of vacation. And, I don't want them to retire in the next 2 years that they're available to retire in, because that would hurt us other
And I'm not saying
financially as well. But, I mean, they do the job, and we've got to pay them to do their job. I mean, I wouldn't want to do their job. Just stating.
I think we just
So
need to
then-
remember it, come negotiating time,
They're not going to
They're-
accept anything
Right.
less.
I know.
I mean,
That's the
a
point right there.
reminder
They
that the
won't.
financial emergency is
You hit it
lifted,
right
but
there.
it's,
You just
you know,
hit it.
the spending,
Well, I think we're jumping the gun on that with regard to what will happen in the
Right.
negotiations.
I think so too. I think so.
Okay, so this will come back up in the next in July. Okay, we're going down to old
Thank you,
business.
Carol.
Thanks. Is there any old business? If not, we'll go to item 5 on the miscellaneous business. I just want to encourage everyone, there's a young man that come in here, well, come into the council meeting, I think it was in the council meeting or the Board of
Board
Works,
works too.
where it's called Nolan Kicks for Causes, 3 versus 3 soccer. It's next
it's this
Saturday,
This,
The 24th.
yeah, 24th.
this Saturday.
And it's Walt Disney. ESPN has let this become a qualifier for some, so the teams that wins this will become qualifiers to go on. And so I encourage everybody to go out and that can and support this. And so appreciate you doing that. And all the proceeds from the concessions will go towards it too. So
What time is it? When is it? Does it say?
you can see it starts at gotta get it the right lens. It starts at 9. I think it starts at 9 in the morning on next Saturday, the 24th. So that's all I have. Is there anything else from the council? You got anything you'd like to talk about?
I want to make sure people remember about the farmer's market. My wife and I go there frequently and buy items. It has a temporary location for this coming Saturday. And if I remember correctly, it's 7th and Grand.
First Methodist Church parking lot. That's what they told me.
Well, it's my understanding it's the property they own at 7th and Grand.
Behind Family Video.
Exactly, at 7th and Grand. They own that, so it's not their normal paved parking lot there by the church. It's the property they own at 7th and Grand.
But Diane, the parking lot that they own is available for the farmer's market customers.
Right, because it's
Yeah,
adjacent.
it's
to
the
it.
old Marathon location.
Right.
So go there. If nothing else, it's a great time, just walk around and see friends.
I'd like to say one thing. There are a couple properties in my district that have been really overgrown and whatever, and I would like to commend the owners and whatever for taking care of that before we had to.
Good.
Or one's in the process and one's been done, so I want to thank them for that.
Also, if I may, I appreciate the process that everybody went through and the cooperation of owners to take that garage down at 27th and Virginia.
Yes, absolutely.
There are people in that area who notified me of a dislike for it to be there and a concern for it, and it's gone. And whatever the process was, it worked, and we appreciate it.
Okay, is there anything open up to the public? Anything at all? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.